that they're thinking about a 30-day ceasefire with the Iran situation. And this is now being widely reported on the mass media. There's competing stories. One of the stories claims that Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff are negotiating with Iran, but through intermediaries, and offers are going back and forth. And then another story says, no, it's J.D. Vance and in Pakistan. And then there's a third story where the Iranian government says, there are no negotiations. We will not talk to the United States. So I tried to cut through the clutter today. Now, you guys know that I worked with FBI for 15 years. My final 5 with the Joint Terrorism Task Force. And you guys know that Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Amy Pickett, from FBI's New York City division, testified about me in Brooklyn Federal Court. She was testifying under oath. An Assistant Special Agent in Charge, Amy Pickett, of FBI's New York City division, testified under oath that I handled national security intelligence, terrorism, and foreign counterintelligence. And you guys also know that I was one of the very few FBI intelligence assets that was granted extraterritorial operating authority by the Office of Intelligence at FBI headquarters in Washington. So I have long-term, deeply foundational relationships with a lot of people. I reached out to someone in the White House today, and off the record, they told me discussions about negotiations with Iran are completely fake. The public service announcement, didn't you? I spoke to a source I have known for many, many, many years in the White House. And this source told me today, all this talk about the negotiations with Iran is fake. They are saying these things to manipulate markets. And then they laid this one on me. You ready? This is not on my website. You're going to hear it now. He said, by the way, Hal, they're moving the draft eligible age up to 42. And they're removing the marijuana conviction loophole because there aren't enough Americans willing to fight and die for Israel. So I said, you got to be kidding me. They're moving the draft eligible age to 42? He said, yeah, and the icing on the cake? He said it's going to be done on April 20th, 5 days after the tax filing deadline, as a big F-U to everyone in America. So, source went on to tell me, do you remember, he asked, do you remember the military announced that Palantir would be integrated into everything they have a few days ago? And I said, yeah, that's the AI people. And he says, yeah. He says, Hal, Palantir already has a full profile on every American, including their age and address. I said, well, having computer databases and stuff doesn't surprise me, but if they're going to raise the draft eligible age to 42 and remove the marijuana conviction loophole, why don't they just do it? He says they're doing it after everybody pays their taxes. And then he added this little gem. You ready? He said this is why the 50-state rapid response National Guard teams need to be operational in April, and also why ICE is now being deployed to airports. I said, well, wait a minute. ICE is being deployed to airports because Congress won't fund the TSA, and they're helping out with the security of the long lines. He said, that's the cover. He said, anybody who wants to avoid the draft by leaving the country by plane won't be able to. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, me personally, just my opinion, I am more confident than ever that this thing with Iran is going to get very, very much worse. And I also want to make it clear, I believe that there is a massive false flag attack coming. I believe it's going to be here in America. And I'm also very confident that anyone draft eligible who has said certain things online about Jews in Israel will be among the first to get drafted. I think they're going to use this Palantir company and their AI to stalk dissenting Americans. That's what I think. These are just my personal opinions. So those are the stories